Hello and welcome.
G'day, we're back on a Wednesday night, mates.
It's been a while. How long's it been since we've done a show? It's been such an exciting season, yet we've not been here to talk about it. I'm just too busy, I must say. I don't think we've ever had such an exciting season.
I think it might have been the previous Trump administration since we did our last show, mates. And yes, I agree, it is all your fault. That's fine.
It's my fault. I'm just too busy this year. Next year, I'll be back with the vengeance. All these events that I've organized don't even happen because I'm too busy. But this will be the year that I think that it couldn't be more exciting with the level of closeness we have, other than sad, poor Stuart.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our first segment, which oh, come on, you'll play the music hopefully, and there we go.
Okay.
And you're gonna read it out loud. Off you go.
Once again, while my handsome co-host has committed hours preparing highly entertaining content for the show, I could not be asked spending 30 seconds required to contribute to this segment. This is very true. It's true. Couldn't be truer words.
Anyway, let's move on.
What is this?
All right, so it has to answer the question. It's been 3 weeks since our last show, so I thought I might do top 3 offenders in the eyes of the law here in the Commissioner's Court. So here we go. Number 3, the England cricket team. What an absolute embarrassment they are. May as well pack up and go home. Thoughts?
I don't particularly care for cricket. It's a boring sport, and it could be eradicated as far as I'm concerned.
Oh well, a few of the lads watching will appreciate that reference. Number 2, here's one you'll get. Do you know this guy?
I do not appreciate Tua Tagovailoa. He should be removed as far as I'm concerned.
All right, but let me specifically tell you why. So this press conference, I don't know if you recognize this press conference or where this was. So this was held in Madrid.
Oh yeah, were we playing in Madrid? I don't watch Dolphin games.
Yeah, this was a couple of weeks ago when Miami played as part of the international series. They inflicted them on the great nation of Spain. And in the press conference after the game, he was asked about where else he might like to play international games, to which he responded that he thought it'd be a good idea if they went and played in Jerusalem. Come on,
interesting.
Mate. Haven't they suffered enough without sending the fucking Miami Dolphins over there?
Also, read the room. I don't know if that's going to fly with peeps. Israel is persona non grata, and I don't really get it. But yeah, interesting. Israel. Did they say which country or which city?
He specifically said Jerusalem is where he would like to play.
To the answer of the question, country?
I don't know what the question was.
Let's assume it was. He's not the brightest spark. He's useless.
No, well, I mean, he probably wasn't that clever to start with, and then he's had about 16 concussions in the NFL, mate.
I'm not really watching this team until they do something to make it better, because it's the worst. It's the worst. I hate it.
Agreed. Number 1. A repeat offender on this section. Fucking sleeper again, mate. They've once again absolutely shit the bed. All the boys were pinging off today, saying they couldn't put waivers in. You had to access Sleeper on a computer, which some people don't even have one. And if you do, it's an awful experience just to put in waivers. Get your fucking act together. You're the biggest fantasy platform in the world. How is this shit happening in 2025?
I'm surprised there was anyone worth wavering.
There wasn't really. We're pretty fortunate this didn't happen like 5 weeks ago when people were looking to throw down like $150.
Yeah. Like presumably the most exciting waiver this week, I haven't looked at it, was Cam Ward, presumably.
Yeah, Cam Ward. Yeah. I held on to Cam Ward for so long. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, sleeper, awful. All right, moving on.
Are we going back to Are we going to go back to ESPN? Is that the plan?
No, I don't think so. We're just going to keep complaining about sleeper. All right. We're actually not going to do a waivers section because there really isn't much to talk about. We will do winners and losers though. So play the music. All right. We have to do it because he's cinched
Oof,
up
top drop.
the minor premiership, the 1 seed this week. So we'll do two good Tyson Browns, seen here plying his toe drag wares in his beloved Philadelphia. So we'll talk more about it, but essentially Tyson now gets a 3-week bye. The next final 2 rounds, he has literally nothing to play for, and then he gets the first round playoff bye. So this has been something of a hex in the past, as it's been well documented in the league. But he's flying high at the moment.
The
Yeah.
look, I am very apologetic to the league. I could have kept it more interesting if I had pulled my thumb out of the dike and put him in my lineup. I would have beaten Tyson. I would have knocked him down from the. I think he probably would have got the bonus point. But regardless, I think he's still going to win convincingly. Is this team unstoppable? It doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. It's lacking a little bit at quarterback 2. I believe he's so desperate that he picked up Tua, turned the ball over last week to hold him through the Dolphins' bye. That's why there's not a second quarterback here. But Tua can be okay on some weeks. I don't know if he's made any moves on the waivers, read Cam Ward or the great hope Shedeur Sanders. But I honestly think the only way that he's probably not going to steamroll a playoffs is that if the hex befalls him and Christian McCaffrey gets injured, which realistically, how is that not going to happen? Because he's almost made it through the whole season without getting injured. Except that in that scenario, Tyson has very smartly rostered, not shown here, Brian Robinson, who will be able to slot into a very strong role in this offense should McCaffrey go down. So I think I need a bunch of these players to get injured to have a chance, for anyone to have a chance to take him down.
I'm not sure that I agree with the assessment of this team not having a lot of weaknesses. You are right. He was carrying Tua at this point. So he's got Tua. He's going to slide him back into his lineup. But that's a pretty weak slot. He made a trade to strengthen his wide receiver position to bring in hometown hero Devontae Smith, who's been okay. But he doesn't have, by his own admission, he doesn't have any kind of big play wide receivers. The engine room of his team is that he has the number 1 and number 2 running backs in fantasy, right? These 2 guys, McCaffrey and Taylor, that have just been unbelievable, lights out, and kind of doing it in, I won't say the twilight of their career, but these are guys that have been around the NFL for a while, and I'm not sure that anybody really expected this kind of production from them at this point in their career.
They're boom and bust players though, and they get injured all the time. And so far, he's made it this far without an injury. So I think surely there's the chance of injury for these guys. Like they get injured every year they play. They never play full seasons.
And if either one of them is injured, it's all over for Tyson. Like that is what
McCaffrey
it is.
has the support because he's got Robinson, but Robinson's probably not going to put up McCaffrey numbers.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he's in a very strong position. I think what makes his position the strongest is I don't think everyone else that's in finals are very hit. Look, and we don't know who's going to make the finals. I'm going to make one exception to this. Everyone else who's chasing for these spots, very hit and miss. Some weeks we have a big week. Some weeks we missed, have a low score. A lack of consistency. If I was him, the only thing I'd actually be worried about is Jono making it with the run that Jono's been on of late, which has been outrageous.
Yeah. We'll come to
Jono
it later.
looks dangerous.
He does. All right. And on the other side, we've got Tex, who's on a bit of a slide. He's pictured here, wearing glasses, as he always does.
Is he now preaching a Islam faith? Has there been a change to his religious?
I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to forgive you for not knowing this because you mentioned that you don't follow cricket. All right, so this is another cricket joke which Tex will appreciate. Really bad couple of weeks for Tex. It's starting to slip away. I mean, we're going to cover everyone's kind of run home in the next 2 weeks,
Excellent.
but Tex is at 11 and 13, and that's a dicey spot to be in with 2 weeks to go. With T Higgins carrying a questionable tag after getting an injury against New England. Jamison Williams somehow managing in a game that went to overtime where Detroit scored 34 points, somehow managing to get 0 receptions, which is just unbelievable. And both of his quarterbacks who've both been pretty productive, having really, really poor games, particularly Brock Purdy in a win, putting up 7 fantasy points and continuously throwing the ball over and over directly to the future Hall of Famer playing cornerback for Carolina. I forget his name, but he's getting fitted up for a yellow jacket, according to Kurt. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so not a lot to get excited about here. I think if I was Father Tex, I would I'll be a little bit concerned at this point. What are your thoughts, mate?
My main thought is I am pleased that Tex has reaped the benefits of Josh Allen over a number of years, and now he's having a bad year from Josh Allen, and he has to suffer those consequences. Look, Tex is a lovely man. He's a caring man. He talks a bit of shit in this league. We were all so excited when he, won a championship. Reasonably excited when he won a second. No one wanted him to win a third. No one has interest in him going 3 in a row. So I don't think anyone's going to be crying about the downfall of the team named that has risen and fallen on the back of one man, and that's the way it will now end this season, on the failures of Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to probably debate this point slightly. I don't think Josh Allen has had a bad season. He has had an inconsistent season.
He's not had the number 1 pick season. The year before, Tex took his number 1 pick, and he was the hands down, number 1 pick, the most valuable asset you could have had.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got the T Higgins injury. Hopefully he comes good and Joe Burrow comes back and he can have some resurgence. AJ Brown's been a nightmare for fantasy owners this year. They've been screaming pretty much all season about the lack of targets, although this game obviously the greasy wheel, squeaky wheel, I can't think of how that saying goes, but anyway, he got his targets. But yeah, Egbuka had a down week. Williams had a nothing week, and Montgomery just sat on the sideline and watched the other bloke rush for 75-yard touchdown in overtime. So yeah, he's going to need a big bounce back.
It feels like Tex has had, without going through the whole season, more down weeks than he's had up weeks.
Yeah, I think so. Too. All right, let's get on because we want to talk a little bit about the road to the playoffs. So, ooh. Did I put that sound drop in? That's one of my favorites.
It is. You did. It's still there.
Outstanding. All right, so we're just going to go through. Obviously, we've got two rounds left, and as you sort of alluded to at the outset, historically unprecedented situation where we have one team locked in at the top, one team at the bottom eliminated, and 10 teams in between that mathematically can still make it.
And it's not just mathematically, there's a very strong degree of closeness in that. It's not like, if everything goes right, and maybe you looked into this, and maybe it is the case for some people, but it's with, you'd have to, everyone seems to be within a possibility, I would presume, of some of them.
I think some are very, very, very likely. I think we'll come to it, but like Matt Brown, for example, would need not a miracle, but something close to it. But anyway, we'll cover it off. So we're not going to bother with Tyson. We'll start from the top, and we'll go with Handsome Andy, who by his own admission, has been on a bit of a slide lately. So he's now kind of clinging on to that second spot. I think history tells us that, finishing around 500 or slightly above should get you into the playoffs, give or take. So, I think 14 wins and a good point differential, you might slide in. 15 or more, you're probably okay, right? So he's at 14 already. So he really only needs half a win out of the next 2 weeks to get where he needs to go. Unfortunately for him, he's drawn the team directly above and the team directly below him. So he's got the hardest schedule run home. He has to play yourself and he has to play Tyson.
And he has me this week, not round 14. I've got some bye issues in round 14, but this week I'm at full strength. So it's a tough run. He will play Tyson without McCaffrey and Purdy.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, so that might be all he needs to get that 1 point. All right, yourself, you're in the same position. You also have to play the teams directly above and directly below you.
Not incredible.
No, not great for you. Although I'm not sure Handsome Andy is the toughest matchup out there. But Carter Factor is going very strong. So that's going to be a very high profile matchup with a lot on the line in week 14, I believe it is.
And in that week, I won't have my superstar quarterback, the man you did not believe in, but still the number 1 quarterback overall for the season, mainly because he hasn't had his bye. But the unbelievable Drake May will not be playing for me in week 14. So that's going to hurt.
What's your backup plan?
The shit box that is JJ McCarthy.
Oh, he's I don't think he's even playing this week.
Yeah, because he's got a concussion or some shit. And my firm belief that Kyler Murray will never be seen again, and I'll be able to continue to start Jacoby Brissett.
I think that's a safe bet. So you probably need 1 to 2 wins out of the next 4 available points. So yeah, you're in the box seat, and your fate is 100% in your own hands because you're playing a couple of fellow contenders. So it's basically win and in for the Kingmaker.
Yeah, that's quite positive. I like that. It's win and I'm in, or I don't necessarily have to worry so much about getting the bonus point. If I can beat these guys and therefore they don't get a point, that probably is to my favor. So I like that. That's good.
Yep. Carter Factor finds himself in a very similar situation. Wow. Obviously, we talked about the fact that he draws you in week 14. And we'll come to this one at the end of the show when we do the belt matchup, but he's playing Tyson this week. Tyson with, as we said, nothing to play for other than maintaining his fearsome reputation in the league, which I'm sure he's pretty keen to do, and also possibly winning the belt figuratively off of old mate. But yeah, this is a tough run home. Well, similar to you, he's at 13 and 11, so he needs 1 or more of these head-to-head wins, basically, and he's going to secure a spot for himself. All right, Kurt has a slightly easier road, although he's only at 12 and 12, so he really needs probably. He has a very good point score, so he's one who could probably sneak in with 14 wins, but he'd like to get up to obviously 15 or 16 to secure it. He's got a bit of a mixed bag here because he's got Stu, which you should just be able to chalk in for a win. But he's also got a resurgent Tex, who is Jono, who is in 10th place, shooting up.
Yes, big scores every week from Jono.
So this is not a bad schedule for Kurt. To be perfectly honest, if he gets if he puts in a solid performance against Stu and gets 2 points out of that one, he's probably okay because his seasonal point score is very good. But that was mine.
Just on Kurt, I think just to give him the best chance to succeed, I think we need to immediately pivot to an IDP league, have a draft, and let him pick up that elite player that will forever be the greatest cornerback of all time. Whose name I've forgotten.
JC Horn or something, I think.
The horn dog. He needs to bring the horn dog into his IDP position. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
All right. The second of three teams that are currently sitting at 500 and only on a razor's edge in sixth place, above the coin, purely on a very small number of point differential. I think of all the teams contending for the playoffs, this one has the softest schedule. No disrespect to Jared or Matt Brown, but those are two teams that are not performing that well at the moment. So these are two very winnable matchups.
It feels like these two teams are sort of checked out. Like Matt Brown spends his entire time on the message board, like bemoaning how bad the Raiders are. Like anyone expect them to be any fucking good? And I'm like, mate, when your team shit like this, you should be focusing on your fantasy team like I am. Like there's no point in focusing on the real football. Raiders and Dolphins aren't doing shit. But that's all he does. And Jared's changed his name to Just Here So I Don't Get Fined. To the intent that, maybe that goes back to your rule changes at the start of the year. I can't recall. But he's clearly phoning it in as well. So I think that's a fantastic draw for you. Most likely, Matt Brown will stop setting a team anytime soon. So you might even get a few missing players, which you normally hate, but I'm sure you'll be fine if he does it against you.
That's when he gets you though, with the incomplete lineup.
That's it. Maybe Matt Brown, he's got nothing to play for except for the MB Bowl trophy, just for the sake of not having to find it and provide it to you. So maybe he'll be all in for your big matchup.
Yep. My biggest problem, and you're never going to believe this, is, as I mentioned, James Nunn is could not be hotter on my tail. He is right up my trumpet, and he's playing the same two teams.
Wow. So look, I complain about the scheduling, and I retain my complaints about the scheduling, but this scheduling is amazing. Well done, Sleep.
Yeah. So James gets an equally smooth one. I haven't looked at the buyer situation as to whether he gets it any better or worse than me, but he's him and me, I suspect, are going to be locked in a battle to the death for that sixth spot. I think is probably the way it's going to go, possibly with Jono stiffing.
Is there not a possibility that you and he win all your games, you get some good points, and you're both taking spots, considering myself, Carter, Andrew, we're all playing each other?
Yes, that's very possible. All right, as you mentioned, Jared is not super engaged. He's sitting 2 games behind 500, so he basically needs to win out at this point. And he's got, as we discussed, Bard Knox and the Coin, both of whom have been incredibly inconsistent. Right, 150 points one week, 90 the next. So you just don't know what you're going to get. This could be 4 out of 4 for Jared, and he slides into the playoffs, or it could be see you next season. Really hard to say. Tex also 2.2 wins below 500. And as we mentioned before, on a bit of a slide, he's got the same draw that Kurt does, I think. So it is it's Stu and it's Jono. So that is very much a mixed blessing. But I don't know that I would be super confident backing him to get a bonus point at any point for the remainder of the season. He's not traveling very well. He needs one of those Superman Josh Allen 35-point weeks to happen again, which it's been a little while. Jono, we talked about a lot. He is surging at the moment, putting together a really, really nice run of form. He's going from a long way down, though. He was dead last at mid-season. So he's worked his way back up to, once again, 11 and 13. So he's another one of these teams that's two wins below 500. And he's got Tex and he's got Kurt. if he continues going the way that he's going, then I back him. But Kurt's in pretty good form too, so that might be a tough one.
If Jono goes the way he's going, he'll get another 4 points. Like with the scores he's been putting up, and he'll end up in 15 and 13, and that might be enough to make it. But he might get knocked down by total score potentially. I don't know how far off the mark he is on that, given the bad start of the season.
He's at 1460, which is right about where that's about where Bard Knox is. It's above James Nunn, just a little bit behind Carter Factor. So he's there or thereabouts.
Okay.
Last thing to talk about is Matt Brown. I think we kind of covered this off already. He has the combo of Badhams and the coin. So again, he might get some wins there. He might not, but I'm not sure he's that interested. He would need to essentially go 4 out of 4 and put up a massive point differential, because he's down around 1,300. He's way below. So this is why I said at the outset, like it's not a miracle that he needs, but it's pretty close to it. I think you could almost count him out. Right.
And even with 4 out of 4, he's relying on a lot of people not winning matches, because there's a lot of people there that are on, either from 7 onwards that are on 12, and they only need 2 points to basically then be ahead of him. So I think he's basically out of it.
Sleeper does work this out, right? It does tell you when someone's eliminated, and it hasn't yet eliminated him, so it's worked out that there is a chance.
Yeah. Has it eliminated Stewart? Has Stewart been eliminated?
It has. Stewart's been eliminated, and Tyson has been gilded. The hexed
helmet.
The hexed crown, the hexed helmet, So that's our run home to the playoffs. All the very best of luck to everybody still competing for those spots. To finish us off, it is time for the belt matchup. Are we going to do the overly long sound drop?
That's enough. Who's got the belt? Carter's got the belt?
Carter has had the belt. He's had it since we last did a podcast, so he's had like 3 weeks with it.
Wow. I believe dropped off, I believe.
Yeah, I believe he's physically in possession of the cummerbund, so living his best life. Yeah. Anyway, we talked about this at the top. He's got 2 good Tyson Brown, who haven't checked in with Tyson in a while, but if he's been indulging that American lifestyle, he might be starting to look a little bit like Philadelphia Eagles head of security, Big Dom here. Who knows? If he's been
he's looking like that,
maybe who knows?
He's going to have a baby. It's hard to exercise like you do when you got a baby. You got to find the time.
That's it. And then on the right hand side, of course, we have Johnny Fantasy, seen here holding a press conference to announce his latest shit joke for the group chat. So this is a matchup with obviously Tyson, as I said, not a lot to play for. Carter Factor, plenty to play for. Essentially, any kind of result here is going to secure his place in the postseason. It's beating Tyson is not something that many teams have done this year, I will say. And I am not sure that this is going to be the week that he breaks that. But give me your thoughts. Any standout players on the lineup here for either team that you think might swing this matchup?
It's very hard to see them all, to be perfectly honest. I don't think that Carter's team is that great. Looking through it.
Let's start with Baker Mayfield, who is going to miss this game, right? So he's got a fear out of at second quarterback. He got hit with his shoulder, non-throwing shoulder.
Yeah, he looked horrible when he tried to throw that ball. He looked very injured.
Yep. So that's not good. George Pickens, who I think is the number 2 wide receiver in fantasy so far this year, absolute brilliant season from him. He's carrying the questionable tag. I'm sure he's fine. They've got Casey in what they're predicting is going to be the highest viewer rated NFL game of all time. They reckon they're going to get like a historically high number of people watching that game in the afternoon slot on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Cowboys versus Chiefs. So there'll be every eye in America will be on that game and seeing him ply his trade in a situation where everyone thought he was going to be second fiddle to CeeDee Lamb, and it turns out that he's kind of become the alpha dog, which is pretty amazing. You got Saquon Barkley playing that weird Black Friday game on at like 6:30 a.m. here, Saturday morning Australian time, against Chicago, and then obviously Tyson has Hurts on the other side of that one. So a little bit of action spread all throughout the weekend, starting from Thanksgiving Thursday all the way through to Monday Night Football with Stephon Diggs. So this is going to be a very long-running matchup that probably isn't going to be resolved until the bitter end, as befitting a very high-profile heavyweight belt matchup between two powerhouses of the league.
I'm just hoping that Tyson can smack him down, because Tyson can't be beat right now. So the teams that are around me, I want to get the smacketh laid down upon them by Tyson. Tyson's the best person for that to happen for me. By far the best. He can win as many matches as he wants. I don't care. Win them all. Just win. Just win, baby.
Let's hope he doesn't need too many points out of Tua Jerusalem Tagovailoa.
Who are the Dolphins playing? I don't even know.
They got New Orleans. Yeah.
This shit. That could be a score.
Yeah.
That could be a score. There's something there. Jalen Waddle can still catch a ball. Short passes to HM. Why not? Let's go. Let's go to her. Woo!
All right. I know you've got another engagement to get to, so we will wrap up the show, mate. There we go.
Thank you for your incredible work there, particularly the stuff about, what the playoff machinations looks like, what do the matchups look like. That would have been a lot of work, and I think it was critical for everyone to be aware of this as we go into the most exciting postseason race that we've ever had. This is unprecedented. We've never had the league be so even, and it's been like that all year. People win one week, lose one week, big scores. People are up and down. People have like boom and bust, but some people have a baseline. It's going to be a fascinating run, and I think it could be a really fascinating finals. Obviously, Tyson is going to be a powerhouse, and he will have, but he's cursed. He won't win. That's out. So of these 5 teams that can make it, it's going to be very even, and it'll be fascinating to see what happens throughout the playoffs.
Good luck, everybody. Sorry you didn't get any players on waivers if you missed out. Please direct your complaints to Sleeper.
Yeah. But we'll be back. When are we going to come back? Probably at the start of playoffs? Probably at the start of playoffs.
Sure.
All right. We will see you then.